Okay, this is a quick video review of the new Treo 680 smartphone running the Palm OS, which is on the left, and it's in comparison to my previous model, which is a Treo 600, which is actually 2 generations prior, on the right. So basically you had a Treo 600 and then you had the Treo 650, which had a better screen, Bluetooth, faster processor, a few other features, and then the Treo 680, which has just more recently been released. So this is a bit of a comparison between the two phones. Quick review. So one of the first things I probably noticed actually when I unpacked the Treo 680 from the box is immediately I sort of felt that it was lighter, and I thought, oh wow, that's quite a bit of a weight saving, until I realised that the battery hadn't actually been put in. On the Treo 600 on the right, it actually has a battery built in. You can't remove it. It's just a standard thing, sort of hardwired into the body. But on the Treo 680 on the left, it is actually a removable battery, as it was on the predecessor, the Treo 650. So when I put the battery in and I sort of then compared the weight, I thought, well, I think the Treo 680 is a little bit lighter, but I'm not too sure. So I sort of thought, well, maybe we'll prove it once and for all in regards to the weight gain. So I'll actually whack them on this scale here. We'll just turn this on, get it to 0, and okay. So let's just weigh them. So this is the Treo 600, my earlier one, which is 170 grams, as you can see. I'll just take that off, and I'll put the 680 on, and that's 160. So there's basically 10 grams difference. I've sort of read a few things on some of the specification sheets which seem to vary a little bit, but as I say in my tests here, there's basically 10 grams difference. So a little bit of difference, but negligible, not probably really noticeable. And as I say, I thought there might be a little bit of difference in sort of my sort of guessing, but it's pretty neither here nor there. So again, in regard to the actual phones, well, just sort of quickly looking at the different profiles, you can sort of see that the most obvious thing with, of course, the Treo 680 with that cat hair is that it doesn't have the aerial anymore. And in fact, after a couple of years, or 2 or 3 years of use, my Treo 600 on the right, the aerial started getting a little bit loose and wobbling off. In fact, I had to glue it back on around the base. So it's actually good that it is a design that doesn't have an aerial there anymore. On the side, you can actually see that there's 2 buttons here on the Treo 600 on the right, which is generally for your volume control. The 680 also has these, but it has actually 1 extra button here, which is actually for a voice memo. So there's a voice memo application, and you can press this and it launches it, but you can actually configure this to do other things as well. On the front, you can certainly see there's a bit of a layout difference on the keys there. The keys probably seem to be a little bit larger on the 680 here, although I don't know. Yeah, they probably are. They're a squarer design basically, so they probably probably utilise a bit more of the space, and I probably do find them a little bit easier to use perhaps than the Treo 600 on the right. You've also got some extra buttons on the 600 here. You basically had just 4 buttons going across here, and the main sort of 5-way navigation in the middle. So you basically had your phone application, your calendar, your SMS application here, and the sort of on and off screen button here. With the 680, they've basically provided a phone button here, a combination actually turn screen off and end call button, and then the similar application buttons down the underneath here, except the one on the far right now actually takes you to your home application screen, whereas previously on the 600 the home application screen was where my thumb's pointing down here on the right. So there's a little bit of an adjustment in the layout of the keys, and it probably takes a little bit of getting used to if you've been using one versus the other, but not really a major issue.